Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Aurora Stefrak and here I am with Translucent Truth Yoga to deliver you the weekly intuitive energy update for the week of November 15th, 2021. Now, if you are new here, welcome, and if you have been here before, welcome back. I do want to just touch base here real quick and say that this is a timeless reading, and what that means is that this reading can be watched at any time, for any reason. It's not like specific to this week. What happens is that you will resonate with whatever it is that is coming through for this week on another week. So just return to this video and trust that you are going to hear what you need to hear. Okay, so welcome. I'm just going to play this bowl here real quick, ground my energy in, get Aurora out of the way, call in my higher self, and really start channeling the information. I have a lot to say this week. We have this full moon coming up on this Friday, and so that's just jam-packed with information, and I actually did a little bit of research and was learning about it, and it's really cool, really fascinating, all the information that's kind of come through already, and I'm excited to see what else on top of that is going to be coming through. So before I play this bowl, I do just want to mention today is my mom's birthday. So shout out to Mom, happy birthday. I love you. I'm so grateful for all the work that you've done for us kids. I'm one of 7 kids. She's raised us all on her own, and she's just a powerhouse, you know? So I'm really just bringing in this energy of our parents, I guess, this week for me, and it will extend beyond, seeing as you are resonating with this energy, right? So really really be grateful for where it is that you're at with your parents. Most of us don't have a healthy relationship with our parents, and so really this week allow for that to open up for you. And whether that doesn't have to be your physical parent, it could just be your relationship to parenting yourself, right? So as we grow up and we learn our new patterning and programming, as we evolve over time, we actually take on the traits of our parents, of our partners, of people that are in our lives that influence us, right? And so it's like, how are you parenting yourself, right? And so how can you show up for you, and how can you really be and give yourself the most for the life that you deserve to live, right? So happy birthday, Mom. I'm so very grateful, so very grateful. She's actually been helping me in this space, my beautiful space that I got, and I'll make the announcement because I think I'm gonna open up this week. I'm opening my own studio, so it's going to be called Translucent Truth Yoga. It's going to be a holistic metaphysical shop. That's what I have titled it as, with holistic with a W, because that's just me. I like to be weird. I like to catch people's eyes. I like to be different. And one thing on my journey, I have kind of created this whole thing of like finding your W, okay? And so W representing your win, but W also representing whole, going from whole, just H-O-L-E, to W-H-O-L-E, whole. So from having a hole in your heart to having a whole heart. So that's like a little play on words that I like to do. I love words, I love playing with them, I like being witty, all that jazz. So, you know, just another one of my little quirks. So, all right, let's get Aurora out of here. Let's play the bowl. Let's call in our higher selves. Let's call in any guides that would like to be with us at this time to help us through this leg of our journey. So if you want to join in to kind of calibrate, you can close your eyes, connect to your breath. Clear all the energy that you've been carrying, leave it at the door, come into this space and really be present. welcome back. All right, beautiful. Okay, so let's get into it. So there's a lot of information. I have a paper front and back. I really have a lot of information, but again, like as always, it's always overlapping, right? So it was just 6:06 on the time, now 6:09. 6:06, all about where's your focus, on the material or on the spiritual, right? On the physical or on the energetic. And then 6:09 represents the balance, right? The balance of the two. So that was like, oh, 6:06, where's your focus? And then it's like, hey, you're balanced, right? So that's how you can kind of play with the numbers of the universe to create your own dialogue, to create your own language, to create your own understanding, and to create your own signs and synchronicities, right? Because you are the creator of your reality, right? So having that awareness and really anchoring in, like, what do things mean to me? What are the messages to me? What represents what to me, right? And so, because that's really what the spiritual path's all about. It's all about you. It's all about learning who you are, what is your authenticity, what is your truth, what is your integrity, so on and so forth, right? So creating this language with the universe is really a lot of fun. Okay, so let's get right into it, guys. So this full moon is happening on November 19th in the early morning, so 18th, 19th. It is a total lunar eclipse? Partial lunar eclipse, which just means that they don't fully cover each other. It's not like a full coverage, right? So we are in Taurus. It's going to be a Taurus moon, and this is supposedly the longest lunar eclipse in it's at 580 years, guys, okay? So when you listen to me every week, and you sometimes may think I sound like a broken record because I'm saying very similar things every week, but very different as well, you can understand the subtle shifts that are happening in the now moments that we're experiencing right now, because we've been building up these energies for 580 years, right? So that energy up to this full moon eclipse is going to be the release point of these last 580 years, okay? And then NASA also said that this is going to be the longest eclipse in the 21st century, okay? So these are very important things to kind of take note of and to realize on like the grander scheme, like what does that mean? So what, right? Who cares? Well, it's important because we can understand the energy that we're in right now, and that this energy hasn't been available to us for a very long time, okay? So it's really interesting. Well, I shouldn't say for a very long time, but for this time frame, right? Having a, I think it said 3.5 hour long eclipse. So that's pretty cool. That's pretty fascinating. And what an eclipse represents, let's get right into that. So I have the lunar eclipse here. It's when the sun and the moon are on opposite sides of the earth. So then the earth kind of goes between and then it blocks them out, right? And so, what it represents spiritually is deeply transformative time that's going to trigger change. Oh, my UPS is here. I've been waiting all day. Hi. Yes. Did I need to sign anything? As long as I see you got it. Perfect. Thank you. Yay. I think that's my debit machine. Okay, I thought I was gonna get my cash register today, but apparently not. Okay, cool. Okay, so I have no idea what I was just saying. Let's just start over. Okay, so deeply transformative time that is triggering change. The universe is cosmically helping, giving us a helping hand. So like heaven and earth are like meeting. It's a time to let go and abandon what has felt safe and comforting, so you may grow more fully into yourself. It's a time of reflection. who you must let go of and who you must forgive to move forward. And it's a deep self-reflection and recalibration, okay? So with this lunar eclipse, it's kind of like, I see it as like a new moon and a full moon happening simultaneously, happening at the same time, because we're getting the same, like both those energies at the same time. So it creates like this portal, okay? And this portal creates an opening, and this opening allows for your consciousness to expand, to grow, to evolve, right? So that's really what this lunar eclipse is representing. And where did I wrote something. Anyway, whatevs, not a big deal. With like, maybe it was on this side. No, okay, that's okay. So this lunar eclipse is allowing for us, it's a portal, it's an opening, it's in Taurus, okay? So I'll get to that in a minute. I do want to get to the full moon energies, right? Now that we can see how the eclipse helps us to move through things. So the eclipse is basically giving us this reset point, okay? It's giving us a reset point. It's giving us, it's like heaven reaching into our lives. It's heaven and earth kind of merging together. It's where you're going to experience a lot of synchronicities, a lot of things that are like, wow, I can't believe that happened, or you know, a lot of things just coming out of the blue, a lot of different like people coming into your lives or leaving, right? It's a very big kind of like door closing, door opening at the same time, right? So it's like in order for us to kind of purge whatever it is that isn't serving us anymore, we have to do that in order for us to allow for the new to come in, right? Which I'm going to talk about that quite a bit here, because it's super, super important right now, because we're being so supported with this energy that we're kind of moving into right now. And last week I mentioned this moon and I didn't understand why. I was just like, okay, here you go, guys. I was guided to mention it, and now I understand why, because it is so fucking massive, okay? So again, just to remind you, like, this has not happened for this time frame, like this length of an eclipse has not happened for 580 years. Like, that's a long time for this energy to not have been available to us. So now it's available to us, okay? I'm also being told to tell you guys about like solar flares that are happening right now, that there's a lot of solar flares. The auroras have been visible in like more southern areas on the maps. Well, I guess the northern lights have been more available to us. I assume in the south you could probably see them more north. I'm not really sure because I don't live there, but from my news and what I've been hearing about, there's been a lot of people, you know, in the south. Let's see, because I'm in Canada, so my friends in Minnesota, so you know, like even in Minnesota they were having sightings and stuff of the aurora. And so the aurora happens because of solar flares from the earth. They explode, energy hits the earth, that energy kind of plays with the electromagnetics of the earth, and that is the result, the aurora borealis, okay? And so we've had a lot of that that activity as well on top of all of this stuff going on too, right? So the sun and the moon, they work tandem, they work together. The sun is all about, you know, that masculine energy of like moving forward in action and, you know, all that. And then the feminine is all about the nurturing, the slowing down, the going within, right? It's like that internal action versus that external action, okay? So that was cool. I didn't know I was going to talk about that. Yeah, so with this full moon, so what does a full moon represent, guys? It represents completion and a peak energy of its essence and influence. So that's why we always like to know what phase the moon's in. And of course I didn't wear this shirt on purpose, but here we are to show you guys. This is the astrological clock, and so the moon is in the phase of Taurus and the sun is in the phase of Scorpio, right? Because in order to have an eclipse you have to have opposing signs, right? So really beautiful. We have this completion energy. It's the peak energy of the Taurus full moon, okay? We're learning to let go of the emotional experiences that you've outgrown, because the moon represents our emotions, right? And so with the moon being in Taurus, Taurus is a very grounding energy, right? And so it's an earth sign. And so you know, we're really being encouraged to really like ground our emotions, like really understand our emotions and learn like what is serving me and what is not. Like say you experience a lot of anger, a lot of frustration, you're not really sure how to kind of overcome these parts of you, you are able to sit now with that energy to transmute it. Or maybe it won't even be something you need to sit with and you just start taking action somewhere else, which helps to dissipate that. And that's kind of like when I talk about this merging of heaven and earth and like kind of the universe, like kind of reaching a hand out to say, hey, here, I'm going to help you. That's what I mean. Like that's how things can show up. You know, just through us taking the action. It might not even be a conscious thing. It's just like, hey, on a cellular level, on a soul level, you're ready to move in a different direction, right? So you're being encouraged unconsciously, subconsciously, to not want to deal. So you might feel like at your ends meet, you might think like totally done with all this bullshit. And that's just because you're being supported to move past it, right? It's like, okay, you might hit this wall of like, I can't do this anymore. This isn't going to work for me. I got to do something different. And that's the universe working with you. So if you want to work with it, you're being encouraged to accept, surrender, forgive, all of that to what it is that's going on, right? So for the full moon, we have it. So it's anchoring oneself into your new wisdom and maturity that was gained from the previous cycles, right? So it's really beautiful because the moon is a very quick cycle. It is a 28-day cycle, just like us women that have our cycle, our period. We're very connected to the moon. It is, you know, some people call it their moon cycle, right? And so it gives us this very quick run through the signs, run through the energies of our emotions. So every month we get 4 weeks to basically go through these emotions from different lenses, different perspectives. It's like, you know, right now we're looking at it through our Taurus lens, which is, again, very practical, very grounded, very like solid, right? Like solid. So that's why our emotions that really have been affecting us, like that really have power over us, are going to be prominent because we're in that energy of like, what are our core emotions? What are our core experiences? What are our core lenses, right? And so each month we go through and hit different signs. And so that's where we're invited into actually like kind of unpacking these deeper layers and aspects of ourselves emotionally, right? So this full moon will represent, you know, our new wisdom and maturity being anchored that was gained from previous cycles. So we are going to be releasing what is no longer serving us. Now that is also like a very new moon energy vibe, but with the full moon, because it is a completion energy, it also represents that, because when you are completing something, you are letting it go. You are moving past that, right? And so it could be a relationship, it could just be a feeling, it could be a lot of different things, but you will know within your own being, like, what am I done with this week kind of thing, right? We have purging and cleansing of our emotional cycles. Endings are needed to make way for the new. We have embraced change, let go, and seek greater connection with the divine, okay? And so with the divine, with spirit, with source, with God, with the universe, whatever words that you want to put on this life force energy that is everything, connect more with that, okay? We're being really encouraged to connect, and that's like where that grounding energy is coming in from that Taurus, which this is actually going to bring me perfectly into the Taurus vibes, right? How does Taurus encourage us in this time, which I've talked a bit about, but I got a few things here. So we're learning how to access the love that we are, right? Like Taurus energy is very grounded, and so it's, you know, you have your wounded side, but I'm going to talk about the side of love, of pure unconditional love and nurturing. And I don't know why I'm seeing a cow in my mind right now. So in the Indian culture, they actually, like, cows are holy. Cows are sacred. You don't treat cows. I actually think like a lot of, Indians are vegetarian, and so they don't actually even eat meat, and they actually honor life. It's a much different world. But yeah, so we're actually realizing that like what is sacred to us. I guess that's why the cow was being shown, because again, I was talking about the divine, and it is a very sacred symbol and a very sacred animal, and it provides life for us, right? and it has in our history, in our evolution, has provided a lot of sustenance for the humans, right? So yeah, we're learning how to access the love that we are. We're learning how to realize like we are literally divine beings in a physical body. Like there is no difference between a God and us other than this physical vessel, and we're learning how to merge that divinity in with this physical vessel, right? And all it is how you choose to show up for yourself, how you choose to love yourself, how you choose to love others, how you choose to show up in your life, right? So we're really being like having this spotlight, this magnifying glass on, you know, how we choose to show up every day, right? Because the Taurus is very grounded, very monotonous, very likes their routine. They like to know what's happening. They are just very grounded. They're financially stable. You know, all these things are very important to them to keep everything stable because they really like that. They really need to be grounded, right? So it's like, what in your life is not stable, is not grounded, right? And that's what this Taurus eclipse is going to be doing for us. Okay, so we also have relationships are being highlighted, right? Because Taurus, I mean, what makes you secure in your life is your relationships, right? Because you are in relation to everything, right? And so, you know, that could be like actual like human relationships, but it can also be your relationship to food, your relationship to your addictions, your relationship to sleep, your relationship to money, your relationship to, you know, the divine, the word God, your relationship to everything, right? Like that's really what's, I guess, like a big reality check, right? Of like, what is it that you connect to and that you don't connect to anymore, right? So relationships are being highlighted, and we're realigning our heartbeat to the heartbeat of the earth. So financial relationships are shifting too, so we're breaking through those limiting beliefs. So specifically finances, okay? So this is what's going to be coming up as well, because that is your stability, that is your security. So when we want to suppress it, when we don't want to look at it, when we want to I don't know, spend all our money and not know where it's coming or going and all that, and put ourselves in deeper ruts than we need to, then that's when we need to take a step back and look at, you know, our choices and what we've been doing and how we've been living and so on and so forth, right? So then we have being kind, slowing down, being intentional, keeping an eye on what opens your heart and what closes it, okay? So really it's that simple. So when you are feeling perturbed, when you are bothered, when you are irritated, when you are frustrated, when you are mad, when a boundary is crossed, all of these things, bring in kindness for yourself, for starters, because you have to bring it in for yourself so that you can evolve past that, right? So bring that in for yourself and then spread that, because when you bring it in for yourself, you alchemize that, you transmute that, you actually turn it into something else, right? So you take that lower emotion, you understand it, you learn from it, you grow, you expand, and then you're not stuck in that emotion, and you can understand what that emotion actually represents, right? And what it means and how it's guiding you back to your own heart space, right? So being kind and then slowing down. A lot of the time, all we need to do is slow down. Like seriously, slow down your mind, slow down your heart, slow down your thoughts, slow down your life. There's a lot of things that we do that we don't really need to do, that we feel like we need to do, or we think that we need to do, but we don't. Okay, so really that's what this Taurus energy is gonna ground into us. And then being intentional, you know, like because Tauruses are very grounded energy, they are very intentional. Like you think about, you know, that healthy side that is financially stable and that is very, you know, emotionally stable, physically stable, all the things, because they've chosen to be intentional with what they're doing, okay? And then last but not least, keeping an eye on what opens our heart and what closes our heart. So there's going to be certain things that you do, that you say, that you think, that you feel, and bring that awareness to your heart. Bring it back to your heart and ask yourself, hey, like, what is this doing for me? Like, is this opening me? Is this closing me? Does this make me feel good? Does this not make me feel good? I know it's very basic, but it is very powerful when you really are in tune with that subtle energy of your heart, because it will guide you. It will always guide you, and you can't lie. You can't lie. Your heart can't lie, right? It's like you can ignore it, you can suppress it, you can pretend like you don't feel these things, but the truth of it is that it's always going to be there until you choose to look inside. Okay, so we're really being encouraged to really like shine that light in our heart, and to be kind, and to be vulnerable with ourselves, and to really slow down. And now I'm hearing too, like Taurus is like very physical, right? So like maybe getting physical with yourself. Doesn't have to be sexually. It can be sexually if that's what you're being guided to, but it could be as simple as just a nice light massage. You can do qigong, you can do yoga, but really getting into your physical body, okay? Cool, so that is that's all for Friday, guys. Like, this is for the full moon lunar eclipse happening this Friday in Taurus, okay? So I'm really excited, very, very excited. It's going to be a very transformative time. You know, and mind you, we still have the Scorpio energy here, right? So that's why I was saying, you know, all the stuff that we've been purging from Scorpio, from that time that we have been in, processing all of our shadow, all of our unconscious shit, is going to be like shedding now, right? And so that's why I also talked last week about new earth templates being anchored this full moon, which I didn't know that we haven't had a moon, an eclipse for this length for 580 freaking years, okay? So like, that is huge. That is huge. So huge, okay? So really have this awareness this week as you're going through everything. Just slow down. Take it slow, take it easy, listen to your mind and listen to your heart. Connect to your breath, find a practice, take care of your physical body, because again, Taurus is an earth sign representing the physical body needing attention, okay? So, cool. Okay, guys, so that is the full moon lunar eclipse in Taurus. Okay, so now I have just my other notes that I want to bring up. So, I do want to talk real quick about aligning to the greater central sun. So I did a meditation yesterday. I went to my galactic space mama's house and we blasted out into the ethers. We did our work. We did some pretty freaking next level shit. And she was talking about that, I guess our sun is called Alcyon, she said, and I got to look more into that. Alcyon, I think. And so, okay, guys, so you know, the suns are portals. Let me just get that out into the world. These suns are portals, okay? And by the way, the sun is not hot. I just learned this too. In order for it to be hot, it needs something around it to create an environment to keep that heat locked in. The sun isn't hot. The sun is a big fucking void in the sky. Who'd have known? A big ball of energy, giving out all of its energy, providing for us out here, because we do have an atmosphere to have heat trapped in, but the sun does not. And the sun is a fucking portal. Apparently the sun is from the constellation of Taurus as well. That's what my galactic space mama was saying, from the sign of Taurus. And so what happens is we have the greater central sun. Okay, and this is like source. This is the source of all. This is where all of creation comes from, right? You can call it God, whatever. Then, and it's a sun, okay? It's a sun. So we have this sun here, and then all around that sun, we have galaxies, we have universes, we have all these different suns that go around and orbit that one sun, okay? And then the farther in that you go to certain suns, then the more it's a fractal universe, okay? I'm trying to explain a lot to you guys in a quick minute, okay? So the more that you go into that, you get more suns, right? And then the farther that you go away, you see the whole structure, right? And so what is happening is that our sun is aligning with the greater central sun, and I think there's a few suns in between for us to get to that greater central sun. I could be wrong. Anyway, these are like really huge, crazy topics that I don't know too much about, but I have a pretty good intuitive understanding. So what happens is that when these suns align in the cosmos, it aligns for source energy to literally come through these wormholes into our reality. So we're getting pummeled right now with so much high frequency light energy, which makes sense as to why the sun has had a lot of solar flares lately. There's been a lot of fucking energy coming through that portal, okay, from the greater central sun, okay? And so understanding that all this energy is being given to us right now to empower us, to bring us closer to the light, to give us the courage, to give us the strength to really step into what it is that we came here for, what it is that we manifested our physical bodies, because there's always a spiritual connection. Physical doesn't exist without spiritual, because all of this is spiritual, okay? It all starts in the energetic realms, and the physical is the last to manifest, okay? So in order for us to actually understand what the fuck we're here for, we have to go into the energetics, into our mind, into our emotions, into our body, right? And so we're really being encouraged right now with this alignment to the greater central sun, to source, to God, to the universe, I don't know, whatever words you want to use, right? And we're really being activated at this time, okay? So aligning to our greater central sun is allowing for us to feel, to be more supported through this high influx of light energy, okay? Because everything is energy, right? And light is the highest form of energy. Well, technically consciousness, because what's faster than light? Consciousness, ha ha ha. But yeah, so anyway, a little cosmic joke I got with the universe and my friend. But anyway, so this light energy is coming right from source because we are in alignment. And also with that, we have a 26,000 year cycle around the greater central sun. Again, we are, where is it? Where's my Pisces and Aquarius. So we just came out of the age of Pisces. We're going into the age of Aquarius right now on that greater central sun cycle. Okay, so every 2,000 years approximately, we go into a new cycle, a new phase, you know, and so right now we are heading from the Piscean age into the Aquarian age, which if you understand this on a larger scale, it will allow for you to understand what trauma you're dealing with while being a human right now, okay? Because what was happening in the Taurus to Gemini phase was completely different energy than what's happening from this to this, right? Does that make sense? I hope it makes sense because it's really, really powerful to understand this information. So we're aligning to the greater central sun right now, which is source, which is the highest form of love that we can access, okay? We are source. We are learning how to be that source. We are learning how to anchor love. We are learning how to be love. We are learning how to honor ourselves, honor our lives, like take all this societal bullshit crap out of our reality so we can really sit here and be present and be love, right? And so that doesn't have to be, you know, like, it doesn't have to be like, you know, meditating in the Himalayas in a, you know, like, no, it's like learning how to get to that place while waiting in line at the grocery store. Okay, like really, it's about being practical with these things, okay? So amazing. So yeah, just so you guys can understand that. So because we are aligning to the greater central sun, this is why aligning to the rhythmic heartbeat of the universe is so powerful and potent right now. So that's why aligning to your heartbeat to allow for you, what is your authenticity, what is your truth, what is your integrity, right? And how can I align with these things so that I can be in alignment with the universal flow, right? With the universal support that is here. Because if we are not choosing to get into that rhythmic heartbeat energy, then we are resisting it. And when we resist, we create more problems. Like really, it's that simple. So we create more problems when we are resisting, right? And so when we can learn to surrender, to flow, to let go, and actually step into this rhythmic, you know, when I say rhythmic, if you think about it like a rhythm, right? Like think about a rhythm and like you got your ups and your downs and like you got to like stay with the beat and like, you know, something like that. So like you're learning how to go up and down with the ups and downs. That's the whole idea of like getting into the rhythm of something, right? Like you can say, oh, I got no rhythm, which means that you can't dance, which means that you can't get into the flow. So we're being encouraged right now to learn how to dance, how to get into the flow, how to tap into those ups and downs of life, the happy and the sad, because they're always going to exist. It's like, where are you in that existence, right? So we're learning how to tap into the rhythmic heartbeat of the universe, okay? again, we're aligning to the greater central sun. So that's where all this is coming, right? And so how do we do that? We spend time in nature, go out to nature, go out and allow. So nature is already is at a fifth dimensional harmony, okay? So what that means is that the masculine and the feminine are balanced and they support each other, okay? There's a very beautiful, delicate balance that happens out in the environment, in our ecosystem, that allows for everything to function properly. There has to be homeostasis, there has to be a balance, there has to be enough give and enough take happening at the same time in order for it all to function properly, right? And so spending time in nature is spirit, source energy, okay? And so when we can trust nature to take away whatever pain and suffering that we have endured in this lifetime, because mind you, this physical body is our earth element in this reality, okay? The physical side of it is the earth. Then the mental would be the air, water is emotional, right? And then etheric would be the ethers, like I'm not really sure anyway. Air and ethers are different though. Air and ethers are different because you have the mental energy, and then the ethers would be more like Akashic energy, like spiritual energy, right? And there is a difference between mental and spiritual energy, but they're also very intertwined too. Okay, so how do we do it? We spend time in nature. This is how we align with the rhythmic heartbeat of the universe, okay? So spend time in nature, trust nature to take what you need, or to take what you need out of you, okay? Because they are supporting you. You can work through, like when you go for a walk in the forest, you don't even have to take your shoes off. I was going to say take them off, but it's getting cold here, so you probably don't want to do that. But really ground into that energy. Don't bring your phone. Really be present. Listen to the birds, listen to the leaves, listen to the wind, feel the sun, really connect to what's going on, and ask, say, like the trees have their own spirit wisdom. They're really, 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 really powerful healers. Willow tree is what's coming through right now. I love the willow. And it's funny because the willow actually represents deep emotional healing, okay? So learn about it. What kind of tree is this? What does it represent spiritually? What is this spiritual connection for me? Why am I finding a maple tree? Why am I finding a pine tree? All these things you can, and again, that's about creating that dialogue with the universe, okay? So spend time in nature and ask for nature to support you. Ask for Gaia to support you. Listen to your own heart. Embrace any heart awakening that arises. So emotionally, any heart awakening. So you'll feel an emotion, it'll draw you to a certain place, okay? So whether that be pain or whether that be pleasure, listen to that awakening, okay? And then again, work with this Taurus full moon lunar eclipse. We have so much available to us right now, okay? So we're really being encouraged. That's how we can tap into the rhythmic heartbeat of the universe, okay? Okay, we have deep completion energies. It's the largest partial lunar eclipse in 580 years and the longest of the 21st century, okay? So with this, having the understanding that this is deep completion energy, okay? No coincidence that I'm hoping to open my shop on Thursday, which is basically that eclipse energy, because now it's like, wow, like I can't fucking believe I had no idea. I've just been following the path, listening to my intuition, doing this, doing that, going there, doing da all the stuff. I've been in it, I've been humaning, and now I'm like, oh my god, of course I couldn't open on the 1111 portal because I'm being encouraged to fucking open on one of the most like completion energies that we've had in a long time. And that portal that will be open for 3.5 hours on Friday morning, this is going to be the invitation. So we can already be feeling the energy at the beginning of the week, but closer to the end of the week, you're really going to start feeling this energy. And that's when you're really being guided. Hey, tap into the rhythm of the universe, tap into the ups and the downs, allow for yourself to go through, it was 4004, which 404 represents reset, right? Okay, so there's gonna be this freaking reset, right? So really tap in and really allow for your emotions to guide you, okay? For you to guide you, for the universe to guide you. Trust, okay? Yeah, so deep completion energy. Oh yeah, and then aligning to our pure Christ consciousness template. So our pure Christ consciousness template is like, like Jesus was a real person. Jesus was a big representation for the Piscean age, and which is why you have the Jesus fish on people's cars when you're driving around. So Jesus was just is a representation of the Christ consciousness energy. He was trying to teach us that we are all God, that we are just as powerful as him, but unfortunately the patriarchal bullshit of society kind of manipulated and controlled all that to manipulate and control humans. But that's okay, because now we're out of that age and we're heading into the Aquarian age, which is very innovative and new, and we're not martyrs and we're not victims anymore, and we're really like learning how to get on with our lives, right? And so we're not going to stay in that victim energy. We're going to actually choose to alchemize that, because we are the alchemizers. We are who we've been waiting for, right? And so now it's like, cool, holy shit, I really am who I've been waiting for. I'm the one that I've been looking for. And so now that you're realizing that, you're really able to align to your Christ consciousness template, which what that is going to allow for you to do, Christ meaning heart, center, right? Fifth dimensional blueprint, template, Buddha consciousness, like this energy of enlightenment, of waking up, being awake to the truth of reality, because we have been very asleep and still kind of are, right? But that's what we're all here for. We're here to really activate that. So these templates are being aligned, and a lot of the time when we start waking up to the darkness in our reality, it's painful, because we do feel victim, and we are victims. We are, but are we going to stay victims forever, or are we going to empower ourselves, right? Are we going to choose to rise above, or are we going to keep coming back and being stuck in these karmic incarnation cycles forever and ever? Or are we going to say, hey, actually I don't want to do that. I'm actually going to take this lifetime as Aurora to rise above all that, to actually anchor in these higher templates, anchor in these lessons, live the life, be the spiritual leader that I was here to be, and move on to the next leg, because it can get really exhausting on your soul to keep coming back. So really, that's why a lot of people feel exhausted. Their soul feels exhausted, because they are exhausted from coming here over and over and over, and getting hurt over and over and over, and experiencing so much suffering over and over and over. And so now we're really being encouraged to use this time to slow down, to understand ourselves, to say, hey, what's going on here, and how can I move forward? Okay, so we're really aligning to this higher awareness. That's really all that this pure Christ consciousness template represents, okay? It's our organic template, okay? So you can get locked in the matrix, and within the matrix, matrix meaning just false, the falsities of life. Yeah, so when you get locked into that, and even within the spiritual matrix, right? Like the spiritual matrix, you can get stuck in that too, like the chakra systems, and everything has its own evolution, right? So we can't really get attached to anything. That's why you can't get attached, because depending on where you're at in consciousness, everything has a different perception, right? So yeah, so we're really being, and what this will allow for us as we align to these pure Christ conscious templates, then we're able to have soul memory come back. We're able to remember our past lives. We're able to understand our emotional traumas that may not seem very big in this lifetime, but that feel really big. And so the reason they feel really big is because you probably had some crazy past life thing happen that's now affecting you in this now moment, okay? And so really being able to kind of close the gaps between these energies, like the timelines are collapsing. So in order for us to be whole, the timelines must collapse, which means we have to go back in time and collect those refracted pieces of us, right? Okay. Oh, beautiful. And then going from what is wrong with me to realizing that you are pure infinite love and that you are perfect, okay? So perfect, hey, it's kind of like an ambiguous term, and we can have arguments on if we're perfect or not, but we are, okay? Whether you want to, sit there and nitpick about it, you are a perfect sovereign being. You manifested into this vessel, and when you can align to these higher templates and these higher understandings, then you're able to evolve past, and those things that limited you don't have any limitations, because you've reprogrammed your mind and you've expanded beyond that paradigm, okay? that energy, okay? So we're going from what is wrong with me, which is what we've been programmed into society, like literally my whole life. You hear people say all the time, like, what is fucking wrong with you? Who do you think you are? Whatever, whatever, whatever. It's like, oh, right, I just thought that I could just, you know, be happy and be confident and be empowered and be courageous and all these things, but that all got taken away from me because everybody else said, what the fuck, who do you think you are to be acting this way? So I unfortunately dimmed my light, became human, had to have the human experience, and now I've risen back up. And of course I'm still human. I just speak of it because this is my higher self being channeled right now. This is not me, right? So it's like, well, it is me, but you know what I'm saying, right? Like my humanness, I still am human in a physical vessel, but as I'm speaking these things and accessing this higher knowledge to deliver to all of you guys, I take myself out of it because it allows for me to give you guys this more pure perception of what it is to really be in the higher realms, okay? So from what is wrong with me to realizing that you are pure infinite love and pure infinite potential and that you are perfect, okay? So this is the stuff that we're kind of going into, right? Okay, so we have old energies falling away so new can come in. Our spiritual guidance is coming online. Be sure to meet your basic needs as a spiritual practice. I really, really love that, guys. Okay, so you know, like the human body is such a delicate thing, okay? Like really is. It really, really is. I remember back when I was studying Chinese medicine and I was learning anatomy and I was learning about like the temperature of our blood and the acidity of our blood, and really there's not much wiggle room. Like you have to be in the right temperature, the right pH, the right, you know, everything in order for the body to function. And the crazier thing is that you don't even need to give the body what it needs to function. It'll still function, right? Most of us are malnourished walking around and we don't even know that we're malnourished, right? Like meaning that we don't have enough nutrients in our diet to actually optimally function. So then the body finds a way to function anyway, right? And so when we can give our physical body its basic needs, which is food, proper food, diet, water, sleep, exercise, basic. And then the mind, the creativity, you need to learn how to purify the mind. You have to learn how to purify the heart. And then you can, you know, anchor it in deeper and deeper. But really just our basic needs of food, water, I should say nutrition, water, sleep, and exercise. So really making those 4 pillars your spiritual practice, okay? Because a lot of the time we think that they don't overlap when they really do, okay? Because in order for us, say you want to learn how to meditate, okay? I want to learn how to meditate. Well, you're not going to be able to meditate if you haven't eaten yet today and your physical body is like, I am so fucking hungry, can you feed me? Right? All you're going to be doing is thinking about how hungry you are, right? And so you have to feed yourself in order to access this, because if you aren't, your body, your mind is saying, hey, like this is where your awareness is going to go, because you need to give that part of you attention. Okay? So really integrating that our spiritual practices is meeting our basic needs. And that's, again, that Taurus energy, right? Is that very grounded energy in the physical body energy. Okay, last but not least, slowing down and connecting to the present moment. So you can ask yourself, where is your power? Where is your intention? Where is your heart? Where is your mind? Reclaim your energy, reclaim your power, reclaim your life, okay? So you can ask yourself, where's my power? Like, where's my attention? Where your attention goes, energy flows, right? So where's your power? Where's your intention? Where's your heart space? And where's your mind? Because a lot of the time when you're feeling depressed or you're feeling anxious, it's a head and heart imbalance. It means they are not coherent. It means they are not harmonized together, meaning you will have thoughts that will trigger emotions, that will trigger more thoughts, and then your heart's over here and your mind's up here, and you have no idea why you're feeling how you're feeling. And if you really come back to this place of center within your mind, within your heart, and meet right here, say, what's going on here? What's going on here? Ambulance. So what's going on here and what's going on here, and how can I bridge that gap? How can I harmonize them? How can I bring them back into homeostasis, okay? Because in order for you to have a healthy body, you have to have a healthy heart and mind, and they must be in coherence. Now, of course, this takes time, sometimes lifetimes, you know, so be gentle with yourself, be kind with yourself, and really give yourself that time and space, because we really are not in a rush. You can't rush your healing. Sorry, it's a Trevor Hall song, made me laugh. Like, you can't rush your healing, right? So it's just like, make it intentional. Intention is far more powerful than time, because time is elusive. Time isn't even technically real, because really everything's happening right now in this moment. But your intention is very, very powerful, okay? So that was beautiful. So yeah, reclaim your energy, reclaim your power, reclaim your life. Okay, so I want to do we'll go these three decks today. So we're going to start with the Beyond Lemuria Oracle cards. Oh, my legs. Me legs. Okay, beautiful. Okay, so the Beyond Lemuria deck. Oh, why is that wet? Okay. Right on the bottom, guys. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. New blueprint. I think we got this last week or something. Okay, guys. Let's see what messages want to come through. What messages want to come through? Yeah, we're really being activated right now, guys. Like, I kid you not, that meditation that I went to yesterday, like, I don't know, even the content of today of, like, talking about, you know, like, the greater central sun and all these higher spiritual awarenesses, like, that I forget about on the daily, you know? Like, I've gone down a lot of rabbit holes, but, you know, I can't remember everything. Like, the human can only handle so much. Like, the human isn't infinite. That's the thing. The human is limited, so we have to learn how to work with that limitation, right? Okay, let's see. So what is going to come through this week, guys? Beyond Lemuria, like ancient knowledge from the future. Lay it on me. What wants to come through? Oh, that one popped right up. Ether, the seamless, unspeakable, and it's an 11. Okay, I'm actually being guided to get at this book now because I just talked about ether and I couldn't explain it. So I'm really curious well, I kind of explained it, but I'm just curious. Oh, cool. Okay, so the ether is card 11. It's the seamless, unspeakable. So 0 point field, the void, blank canvas, threshold, anything is possible. Time to choose what you want to bring into your life. Endless possibilities, limitlessness, and paradox. This illuminated space of no distraction and pure potential is beyond the threshold. It is the silent, meditative moment out of time, that the center and present place beyond the hustle of the mind and outside world. It is where all dreams are birthed, and it is the light we may fear to be darkness when just for one moment everything ceases to exist. This is the place between worlds, the womb before we incarnate, and from here we can choose where we go. The land has been tilled in readiness for the flowers we wish to seed. Outdated doors have been closed, and in the space between the breaths we open the new ones. What may be perceived as the endless black nothingness is actually the illuminated eternal, the core that all fears may be peeled back to. When we step through the darkness, we realize it is only a short distance away from the white void at the center of creation and heaven. Herein lies the feeling that we may have been striving our whole life to meet, and yet simultaneously, subconsciously, running from. In this place of graceful surrender, we may know we are held and allow ourselves the spaciousness to drop deeper into the experience of our existence. That gave me goosebumps. The themes of it: Too elusive and mysterious to define, and knowing without words the spaces in between, and life force energy. So the elusive and mysterious, too elusive and mysterious to define. Maybe that's why I couldn't define the ethers. Okay, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Okay, that was amazing. That was perfect. Okay, so basically learning how to create space. It's like a lot of the time we say, oh, I don't have time, oh, I don't have this, oh, I don't have that, I don't have the resources, whatever. And it's like, okay, but you actually do. You just have to shift and create it, right? So that's really what it's about. And that's where it comes back to intention, right? What's your intention? What are you doing? Where's your energy? Where's your focus? Heard my belly. I don't know if you guys heard my belly rumble there. Beautiful. Journey to wholeness. Card 33. That's gorgeous. Journey to wholeness. And then what one flew? Oh, unique gifts. Perfect. And this is card 55. So all about change. So this has to do with like past life stuff being activated right now. Okay, guys? So, and then this does too, by the way. This is the Akashic. This is the Ethers card. Okay? So this is the Akashic record. The Akashic records is where all knowledge and information is kept. It's a massive library of information for every soul, everything, every thought, everything in existence. Okay? And so this is what we're tapping into to receive our unique gifts. And we're actually going to honor that now. And that will allow for us to start and embark on our journey to wholeness, finding our W, right? That's what I say, finding our W. Finding the W to turn the whole into whole. Okay. Let's go these two. Beyond the mind and reclaim your energy. So we have beyond the mind here and reclaim your energy. Now I'm being guided to actually read beyond the mind here to see what exactly this card says. Okay, so beyond the mind, thinking with the heart, being present, heart and mind connection, meditation, the bliss of being, quieting the monkey mind, fathoming the unfathomable, finding happiness within, and going beyond intellectual limitation. The mind is a wonderful tool for moving us through the logistical elements of life so that we can function in the world. However, its endless chatter, self-doubt, limiting stories, and subconscious programs can also keep us in our suffering. One of the fundamental problems with mind chatter is that it takes us out of the present moment. As soon as we are in the past or future, we can no longer be our most empowered in the present. When we are stuck in the past or worrying about our future, we are not in command of our now. All we are doing is draining our energy and removing ourselves from the beauty of this incredible moment where anything is possible. That is not to say we shouldn't plan for the future or honor the past. This message is about bringing our awareness to the present. We are naturally wired to be everywhere but the present moment. Just as we would exercise to keep our body fit and healthy, it is useful to practice being here and now. Learning to find inner spaces of peace and silence, regardless of external circumstances, is one of the greatest gifts we can cultivate for ourselves. Much of Western culture and society pivots on a mind-based paradigm. This has served us in getting from A to B in a very linear way, but it is not holistic and the cracks are starting to show. We learn that logic is always the right approach. However, more and more people are feeling unfulfilled, unhappy, and anxious, even though we live more comfortably and with fewer threats. What can we do about this? The answer is learning to just be. Even just for 10 minutes of your day, there are many techniques to help you to quiet the mind. Find the ones that work for you, and as your internal world becomes more peaceful, conscious, empowered, and meaningful, so too will your external world. They are intrinsically interconnected. True bliss is experienced completely and utterly in the present moment. In essence, it is the feeling we spend so much of our life seeking. Ironically, we have access to this feeling always without external stimulants or concepts. Allow everything to drop away so you are present. It can take some work, but presence and bliss are totally within your grasp. Okay, beautiful. Yeah, so going beyond the mind and into the heart. Nice, beautiful, gorgeous. I can see that now in the card, very obviously. And then speaking your truth, right? That's being activated, and that's the flower of life or the seed of life. Well, that's actually the flower of life, but the seed of life is in there as well, right? Okay, so amazing. So we're learning to connect to the ethers. This is our where all the information, our soul level. This is the soul level knowledge that we're tapping into. And through doing that, we are going to be unraveling our unique gifts. And this is going to allow for us to be on our journey to wholeness, okay? And then we will go beyond the mind. As we go through our journey of wholeness, we go beyond the mind into the heart, finding that balance between the head and heart. And then we're reclaiming our power, or our energy is what it says. Reclaim your energy, which is your power, okay? Beautiful, 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 beautiful. One more from this deck right there. Oh, perfect. Internal Explorer and Water, the overflow, emotional healing, guys. Wow, wow, wow. Wow, okay, this actually is, I'm going to leave it on here. I'm only going to do from one deck. Perfect, then the Violet Flame too. That's protection, the Violet Flame of protection. Okay, guys, so this card is really reminding me, no, like, this is actually giving me goosebumps right now. This is how I felt. So yesterday at the meditation, like, I purged, I cried, I felt, I was, you know, I was really in it. And because I finally felt safe. Okay, like I finally felt safe, and like I'm getting full body, and like I almost want to start crying right now because, you know, we have been here for lifetimes, guys. We have come here and we have tried anchoring this information, and we have tried helping humanity, and we have tried, and unfortunately we weren't supported. The energies at that time on the evolutionary path of human consciousness were not supportive of the light that we are. So we got demonized. They said, no, they're a witch. No, they're bad. No, this, no, that. Kill them. Get them. You know, it's like the collective unconscious attacks the light because it thinks it's threatening it, which it kind of is in a way, because we want to learn how to come above that darkness so that that darkness can be integrated into this higher realm and understanding, right? And so this meditation that I did and this card, it's really a feeling of safety, okay? And so that's what this shop's all about. That's what I'm doing. This is what my whole life is about. I want to create safe spaces for people so that they can really feel and they can express and they can go to these aspects of themselves, okay? So this is just absolutely a gorgeous card, and to show you, you know, like she is an overflowing waterfall. And again, the water represents the emotion. So look at this and understand. And look at, this is her 8-armed self. So what happens is, up in the spiritual realms, we got more than 2 arms, right? Sometimes I used to joke about that and say, like, God, I wish I had my other arms on me right now. But yeah, so we're really accessing this, and we're learning how to feel safe within this, okay? So we're really being supported right now, and I really don't know how to say it more other than how I'm saying it, because to really understand the support that is coming in right now with all the dynamics, with all of the energies, the sun, the moon, the stars, everything, the earth. I mean, Gaia has her own ascension path too, so we're also helping her evolve. It's not just about humans. Everything has its own evolutionary path. The entire universe has its own evolutionary path, right? So yeah, so really learning how to feel safe again, okay? Because there's a lot of reasons why we don't, okay? So be gentle with yourself, be kind with yourself, love yourself, and really understand yourself. I think that's really the key. You're like, well, how do I love myself? Understand yourself, okay? Give yourself that space, give yourself that time, give yourself that love, okay? And let's see, one more. The sound of the universe. Beautiful. You are the universe, okay? The sound of the universe. Connect in, listen. You are connecting. Okay, guys, I'm out of here. I'm sending you guys so much love this week. Happy full moon, happy eclipse, happy everything. I'm sending you guys so much love, and I can't wait. Next week I should have my store open and my studio space ready, and I will show you guys it next week. Bye, guys. Have the best week. Thanks for stopping in.